Alright, welcome back everybody. This is probably going to be, well, I think it may be the last of these Bloodworm and Ground Crackers. The last of these episodes that I'm making for while I'm out of town. And that's for a couple reasons. One, because I'm probably going to play a little bit of the new Path of Exile League. And so there's just a lot going on. So I don't know if I will get to more of these episodes or not. Let's make some more roach ground bait. I think what we'll do here is still fish for roach for a little while. And then we may switch to a little bit of crucian gibble. Alright, there's mayfly larva, roach mix, peas, roach mix, and then we can get a third feeder rod here. Okay. So let's get our third feeder rod set up. $20? It's just all we have. Unless there's something a little bigger on my... Yeah, there we go. 14 makes more sense, right? We'll start with bark beetle larva. Okay, let's go to our spot. I want to get fishing here because I'm gonna bury some, at least reaction to some news here that has just dropped on the RF4 forums recently. And so for you really dedicated, committed viewers of my YouTube channel, you'll get a little bonus thing that you may have already heard of, I don't know, but we'll see. See what this all means. I think 8 is about right for this spot. I know that sometimes people go a lot farther. I've always kind of liked 7 or 8 here. I think some people cast a good bit farther than that, but we'll go 7 on this one. I really like the fish activity sort of right in between the lilies there. Okay, so (6:03) this morning. Dear fishing friends, with the next update, we're happy to announce a new class of fishing reels. The heavy bait casting reels will help you deal with particularly large trophy fish. And we get a picture of them there. Seagull 20 looks like is what they're called. we hit level 9. Off to a good spot. Off to a good start in our spot. I think those look pretty cool. I'm really curious to see how many they have. So, if you're new to the game, we have been waiting on heavy bait casting reels for a while now. They've been in the game in the sense that there's a skill that mentions them. They've been talked about for a while. We certainly have fish in the game that are big enough to use heavy bait casting reels. One difference here, by the way, is we don't have a leader on this third. We're also planning to update some models of reels that already exist in the game. So that's the Blackbird 2, the Zyman Blackbird 2. That looks really cool. And I'm curious to see what other models they're going to be changing, if at all. And so, still no... Still no news on when the actual update's going to happen. But it's now clear that the update's going to be more than just the new river. There is going to be not only a new artificial bait, but some new gear as well. Which means I do need to start saving more aggressively. Which the carp spot on my main account that we've been fishing lately will certainly help with that, but so I'm excited. I mean, I thought with the way this new river looks, the possibility that they might be doing something new with like the water model, not that there was any confirmation of that, but just the pictures they showed looked like there were some rapids and stuff. So I thought that this might have been a good opportunity to like sneak fly fishing in there. Again, something they've talked about for a long time, but we needed the heavy bait casters, so I think this is a good time to do it. Fish got away off of this one. So there was a fish on the peas, but it got away. Interesting. So yeah, again, we don't know when. I mean, it's starting to look like it really is a possibility. I was joking about this, you know, a week ago or so, but it's starting to look like it is a possibility that the new content will drop while I'm out of town, which will be very sad as far as what I enjoy doing when new bodies of water come out, which is to just kind of get in there with no knowledge and just explore. But still not sure on the exact timing of the release, so we'll see how it plays out. But I think, you know, even if I don't continue, I don't think I'm going to continue this series past this. This was just, in my mind at least, this was just like a short an opportunity to just do something small and fun while I'm out of town, to be released sort of sneakily. But this has given me some new ideas on next time I do a leveling series. Not just targeting crucians and gibbles, but targeting roach like we've done here. I've also been doing a lot of spin fishing at Mosquito lately on my main account, trying to get the trophy perch. And it's actually been better than I thought it would be in terms of catching fish spin fishing here, so that may be something we can do. Mix in spin fishing more actively even early on a leveling series, so we'll see. Once the new river's out, everything has settled, with whatever changes come between now and then, it may be time to really hit one of these new leveling series pretty aggressively, so we'll see. One thing I haven't gotten to in this series that I probably won't at this point, but that is really important, is leveling up harvesting baits, leveling up making ground bait, and leveling up cooking, at least to the point of being able to make tea, coffee, and mulled wine. And the way that works together with leveling up harvesting baits with digging, making lots of bread, eventually making some potatoes so that you can get to pearl barley. I mean, really, I think by level 10, you should have, especially if you're doing feeder fishing, you should have kind of a setup of 3 like we do, and start aggressively putting your silver towards at least getting some of those basic things leveled up, like cooking to the point of being able to make mulled wine, bait harvesting to the point of being able to make pearl barley. And really, once you get to pearl barley, things start to move pretty quickly. It's not that expensive. You're getting points so often. It's not that expensive to get to sweet dough, which sweet dough can be really good. Wheat grains can be occasionally good for tench. And then you're at semolina. And the earlier you can hit semolina is killer right now at Mosquito. And I don't know if it will be, for how long it will be, but right now it's just amazing here at Mosquito on Crucian Gibbles. And so you make semolina for a while, and then you've got garlic dough, which lets you fish bream at Old Berg. So it's just so important to put resources into this, and not only focus on getting new gear when you're low level, but also pay some good attention to those skills. Common roach farm, folks. And you see how much experience we're getting. It's not bad for this level. And the silver, I mean, we've been making really nice silver doing this as well, so. And remember, we're using mayfly larvae, peas, and then this is the one I'm not as sure about, bark beetle larvae. It might be worth trying something like casters or maggots on that third line, or even having peas, more peas. I mean, the peas work so well and they're very cheap. Mayfly larvae is probably the best, but you have to travel to Winding to get them right now based on stock, and they are pretty pricey. So when you get a runner like this, let it run. Let it run itself out, and then you should be able to start reeling it in unless you've got something really big on. It's like a pretty nice roach. And remember, we had that surprise Chinese sleeper trophy here, which I think that was on maggots. I do wish I had another leader. They may still have some in the store that we could buy. And we didn't even get new line. I mean, we're just using the 2.2 line here. We definitely only want to catch small things on this third line for now. It is kind of tempting to put a point into simple bottom rig at this point. We're going to be at 25% before you know it on bottom fishing. I don't know. Because the way it works now, I might just, if I was moving forward in this series, I might not put points in bottom, and I might just put points in paternoster. Because as soon as paternoster is available, since I use so much ground bait, I'd probably switch to paternoster. Right now, peas is doing the best. We've caught 2 monsters off peas. Well, that's 26 fish in 13 minutes. Only 8 of the 26 were below marker size. Pretty incredible, especially considering the time of day it is. And what is so good about this, not only are we getting experience, making silver, but because of the volume of catching that we're doing, we are leveling up bottom fishing fast. Already at 18.6%. Our percentage of non-markers is going to get higher now that we're using maggots. But I was hoping we might like I think I started them too late though. If we'd done that all morning, we probably would have caught some sleepers here. But at this point in the day, we're not going to until later. Whew. Another nice one. 18.8. Interesting. The eyed really are taking over Mosquito Lake these days. I think that's the first fish from last episode or this episode that on the peas or the mayfly larva, we've caught something that wasn't a common roach. Now on maggots, of course, we have. And on bark beetle larva, we caught that gibble. But on these two, it's been 100% roach, I'm pretty sure, until before that. I think the way this will break down is that this video will probably release on July 3rd. So happy July 4th, everyone. Even though as I sit here today, it's June 19th. By the time you're watching this, you're probably already know all about the new river and heavy bait casting reels and all that. Nothing like doing a news reaction on a video that's not coming out for 2.5 weeks. Well then, that was rude. I think for the end of this video, let's do a little experiment here. Look at that crucian. A little foreshadowing there. Alright, so easy common roach order for 10 silver. And we're going to go ahead and sell the rest of the roach. So remember, we made 38 silver plus 10, so 48 silver on just a few minutes of roach farm. So now we're going to do an experiment here. 1, 2, and I think we'll just use bread, but let me make sure. All right, 1 second. So, if you have, oh shoot, I didn't get, well, we've got 22 pieces left, that's enough. If you have been, let's do clip 9 here. If you've watched previous videos, not in the right spot, you'll know that this is a really good, often is a really good crucian gibble spot. In fact, sometimes it's even a really good Chinese sleeper spot. But right now, if you come with like a really large hook and fish with semolina, you can catch some really nice crucian gibbles back here. So what we're trying, what I'm experimenting with here is to see if the large hook also will work with bread. And first fish, it appears like it will. So that's a really nice crucian. And just to compare in terms of bite rate, we'll also put a size 12, more appropriate hook size with bread. And just in case the bite rate picks up, while it's still a little bit hot, so we probably won't have too many fish getting on, let's go back and get, how much silver do we have? 43. Let's go back and get a little bit more bread and some ground bait. We won't do this super long, but I hate to run out and just like have to stop because we ran out. And when we get back, I'll make sure you see the coordinates that we're at. It is a really good spot. And with semolina it works great, but I'm hoping that with bread and the bigger hooks it will still be okay. Okay, so that's a pretty decent crucian even on size 12 hook. Which again, it may just be that there's just really nice crucian gibbles here right now, but I don't know why. Maybe I didn't straighten those lines before we left. Alright, so this is a 9-meter clip. Oh, I must have the real speed like so slow. And we're at 35.49. So far, pretty slow bite rate on the big hooks. I haven't really done this enough to know, like, at this point in the day, what would semolina feel like. I know overnight it can be really good. Even if it's not super fast bite rate, the trophy rate is pretty high, so I really don't know if this is worth doing at a low level or not with bread. It might just be better to have like high volume of catches and get some decent ones mixed in, but I think it's worth trying here. So on the 12, we're catching sort of normal size crucian, what you would expect to catch on bread. You know, a mixture of some markers, some not markers. We've had some nibbles on the first two lines that have not turned into bites, and that may be because the hooks are too big. We've got a large 1 hook on the first one and a large 2 on the second one. Small one. Yeah, the roach farm was totally better than this. at least for the daylight hours. Now, overnight, the roach farm would probably be pretty slow, and that's normally when I would switch to catching rough or white bream. But alternatively, coming back here and catching really big crucian and gibbles overnight is also a good option. All right, we've got a big one on line 1, I think. I'm not sure about line 2, but line 1, this should be a pretty nice size one. Oh, it's a roach. Interesting. Also a nice sized fish, and that's a crucian. And this is the size 12 hook. It's also the smallest line, the weakest gear. But not by much with the leaders we have on. Okay. It's a very interesting fish here. Just wondering if we could have hooked into like a small common carp or something. All right, it's coming in now. We don't have a landing net yet, so... It's a tench. It's interesting. I don't catch tench on bread that often. All right. Now I still have a lot of time between now and when I'm leaving town. A long time. So it's possible I'll come back to this series, but I'm just thinking that with the new league in PoE and with so much going on in RF4 that I want to do on my main account, I just don't know that I'll get more episodes after this one. So just fair warning, I don't know that this one will, I think this one will release on July 3rd. I don't know that there will be one on July 4th, but then we're also getting up to the time, at least by July 4th or July 5th, I think is when I'll be back in town. Or somewhere thereabouts. I don't know. 7 silver. Yeah, that probably is worth doing because it uses 2 non-markers. And I don't... Did we get 2 gibbles? Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what saved us this go-round in terms of total silver is the amount of cafe orders we filled there. So we're back up to 64 silver, and we've got 3 feeders already. So really the next purchase should be 1, getting this purchased, landing net, so that if we get a big fish we can actually catch it. And then after that it'll be this. We don't have quite enough. We're 1 silver short, but that's probably the next thing we would buy. Okay. Happy holidays. As always, thanks for watching. I don't know if there'll be another one tomorrow or not, but in case there's not, thanks for watching these and it's giving me some good ideas for the next time we actually do a full-blown leveling series. But hope you have a great one, and I will talk to you soon. Peace out.